I was on a call with someone, let's call her Blake, not her real name. And she was talking about a bright and vibrant company that was running well. She had done such good work and was able to help lots and lots of people. And then all of a sudden, it kind of disappeared. It changed. It stopped being the vibrant company and started becoming something less. People were not as engaged, interested, as excited. People weren't working the way they used to. People weren't having conversations with her and engaging. And she couldn't figure out why. This is pretty typical because when we get involved in getting things done and getting more projects up and all of that success, we stop remembering how we got there. One of the great challenges of building a company is not growth. It's remembering where we came from and remembering how we got there and keeping that going as well as expanding. And that's a real challenge. Now, one of the reasons that Emily was having so much trouble was she started focusing more and more on offering more and more stuff and not engaging with the community, nurturing your tribe. In other words, she was moved from giving out a lot of information and giving a lot of things to buy. And as soon as that starts happening, whether that's because you get overwhelmed or something changes or a pandemic hits, all of a sudden the community starts to see you as a different person. They see you as someone who's always selling. They want to see you as the leader of a tribe. They want to see you as a leader who can walk through and continue to give even though they succeed more and more. As they watch you succeed more and more, they want to make sure that you are still with who they think they are. Now, it's an amazing technique that we have, that these little boxes that are on everyone's hip and in front of everyone all the day, you could talk to people directly, as I'm doing with you right now. They start to get to know you and like you and want to spend more time with you. And that's how you nurture that tribe. But as we grow the company and as pressure becomes greater and time becomes less, it's much more challenging to be part of that community that you started. And you start to forget how you got there. So we stop nurturing our community quite as well, and we stop nurturing the individuals. All of a sudden, we get disconnected and we can't value our tribe. Your customers list is more than data. It's a community waiting to be engaged, inspired, and transformed into your most vocal advocates. Building a community doesn't happen by accident. It requires a strategic approach to engagement that values every customer's voice and nurtures every potential lead. Without a focused effort to engage your list, you risk turning a vibrant potential into dormant numbers. Activate your community and watch as they not only buy, but become a frontline marketing, so much better than ads. Imagine if you had 1,000 raving fans who were all reposting and retalking about what you're doing. Imagine if you had an individual who was so excited that they started learning groups just to make sure that they could share the information they had. In many ways, sharing with your tribe is more and more important in this new social media community. Being able to create that understanding, being able to interact with people, being able to have them feel like they are a neighbor of yours becomes the most important thing you can do. And therefore, being able to provide value and them seeing that you want to be part of the community. Now, this comes out of the internet age where in the beginning, people were just putting things up to be able to provide information, to get it to a place, to give it away for free. Your friends do that. When they come and they've got an idea that they'd like to share some information, your family comes and shares funny memes and things like that at no charge. You don't expect it. We've become accustomed to that. And we like to have in our little boxes, in our hands, our friends that we see to get ideas and move forward. And so nurturing that list, creating ways of doing it, creating ways to continue to give, even if it's the same thing over and over again, becomes more and more valuable because you create a tribe around you. And that tribe disseminates your information so much more effectively because anyone who's interested in a person and shares that with another, you're much more likely to take the recommendation of your neighbor than the advertisement just because you have a personal relationship with them. And what you want to do is create people who know, like, and love you, and therefore they're willing to buy from you. I'm a huge fan of personal brand, and it's very easy for people to know, like, and love you when they start to see you on a regular basis, when they listen to what you're having to say and what they do. Now, there's two challenges to that. Challenge number one is it takes time. And therefore, you have to come up with ideas that allow you to do one-to-many. And therefore, one of the reasons we created, and you've heard me talk about this before, viral social stacking, is that we would be able to do one video and get 70 pieces of content out of that. But also what it is it's a way that you need to continue to explore how you talk about the same thing over and over again. The subject that you may be on for 18 months requires you to get creative in this process and looking at it from different ways. Get out in the world and explore. Become part of the individuals and lives, understand what they're going through, and give them ways of talking about that on a regular basis so that you can bring it back to keep it alive. Doing both of those will keep you engaged in this. Now, if you're interested in the other 10 rules that I do, it's down below, and you can actually click on the link below and get the 10 rules. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at how you're doing your nurturing right now and step up to agreeing to do once a week, maybe, delivering content so your community can really enjoy it. That will benefit you more. I look forward to talking to you in the future. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.